Hey, what's up YouTube? Marco here, and today we are going to be talking about the DMV. So, let's say you are new to the state and you're looking to get registered in the state of Nevada, you're looking to do out-of-state registration. Here's kind of the steps from a procrastinator's view or journey, I guess. I moved here last June. My license is about to expire, and within the last 10 days, that's when I decided to start getting a move on this stuff. So I went to the DMV, and I'll show you online all the different DMV locations. But I went to the DMV, and I waited in a line to get information on what to do. And the lady had handed me a couple different pieces of paper. The first one that I want to talk about is this one here. And this was key because she told me, hey, you got plenty of time. You can still get this done in 10 days. Here's what you got to do. She wrote this down, which I didn't know what that meant. It means out-of-state registration, okay? You got to do your Nevada VIN inspection. You have to do a smog test. And you have to get Nevada insurance. So those are the 4 things that you have to get done. Now, if you want, once you finish those 4 things, you can scan this QR code to submit everything online. Or else, you can make an appointment to submit all this stuff in person. And I'll tell you more about the appointments once I show you the computer screen and how making an appointment works. But this would be those 4 steps. Now, she gave me this piece of paper, which I believe is the out-of-state registration. So this is DMV application for driving privileges or ID card. Okay, I got to get this done here because I have the appointment at 3 p.m. Pacific time zone here. And yeah, I have to definitely sit. I'm hoping this is just a 5-minute piece of paper. But yeah, I'll dive in on this. But this is the paper that she gave me. I am pretty sure that it is the out-of-state registration. Then she gave me this piece of paper as well. So I'm saving you guys a trip to the DMV here. Right, so documents needed for a real ID or standard ID card. Okay, so you need the proof of identity, your birth certificate or passport, one or the other, right? So I'll be bringing in my passport. And then Social Security, right? You can bring in the card. I have pay stubs too, but I'll bring in that Social Security card and then the proof of residency. So this is other stuff that you're going to need. You're going to need 2 of these. Okay, so you can go to your bank, switch your address, and then have them mail you that. The lease, I was able to have my landlord fill out a quick document. I signed it. That's going to be one of the documents that I'll be using. I think the evidence of insurance card I got from the insurance place. I'll tell you about that later. But when you buy the insurance, they will give you the paperwork right then and there. Paycheck or pay stub, I'm going to be bringing one of those for my time working at the gas station before I got robbed. And that's it. Now, you can get a voter registration card. That was a pretty easy printout, but I think it's going to be about a week-long wait to get that back. So that's why I'm not going with one of those options in my kind of rushed, shorter, procrastinated time frame that I have. And these documents, right, must be current or dated within 60 days. Okay, so this is kind of a summary, and the lady also gave me this, which we're going to go online next in this video. We're going to be going to the dmv.nv.gov, and I'll show you like the different locations. I'll show you, I'll tell you about the protocol of what they want you to do in order to make an appointment. The lady was talking about how on Tuesday nights they open for Wednesdays, so we'll cover more of that later, but this is going to be a quick, hopefully a quick video, just a little summary on getting registered in the state of Nevada if you moved here from a different state. Thanks for watching so far. All right, don't forget to get your smog test done, your VIN inspection, and get that Nevada insurance before showing up for your appointment. Now, here I am driving in to get my smog test done. I chose the Jiffy Smog location, one of a couple Jiffy Smogs, but you can go to not any, but look it up. You're going to find a bunch of different businesses that offer the smog test. You're going to see I just waited very briefly at this sign while this customer in the white car went in to get the smog test done. You're going to step out of your car. The employee is going to insert some sort of plug into your car. And this would be very comparable, I feel like, to the emissions test back in Illinois. The service costed about $30 to $40, and it took, I would say, 5 minutes. I'll actually upload a photo of the receipt from this transaction. It may be a little bit hard to see, but it'll have the price on it if you look close enough. All right, so this is the Henderson DMV location. The lady that gave me the information informed me that, hey, there's a VIN inspection site right outside. So I pulled in right after. I was there for about less than 10 minutes. I stayed inside the car. The employee scanned the VIN number, and I was on my way. I think that was a free service, but if not, it was another $30 type of thing. Here I was at State Farm looking to get car insurance. I found out, though, that my insurance, now I've known that Nevada insurance was going to be expensive, but I found out that it was about $580 for the same plan that I had in Illinois. So I ended up going to Geico, thinking I can save, not to sound like an ad, but 15% of $580 I thought was a little bit better. And it ended up coming down to like $280. Now, I believe that the package, the coverage, may have not been the exact same as the State Farm one, but I asked, and this was like the common man insurance, nothing crazy, but also not cutting any corners. So about $280 is what I was paying. In Illinois, I was paying about $160 for insurance. All right, so you've completed those 3 steps. You've got your smog test done, VIN inspection, and your Nevada insurance. You are ready to make your appointment. You're going to want to do a quick search in your favorite browser of the Nevada DMV appointments, and you're going to want to click on the website that is called Nevada Department of Motor Vehicles. Now, I'm going to scroll down here in just a second. This voiceover and this screen capture is not the same clip. I thought it was recording audio. It wasn't. But here we have our different locations. Now, on the bottom here, these are the rural offices. You need to live in the town of this DMV to book the appointment there. You cannot live in Henderson, Summerlin, or Las Vegas and go to the Pahrump location. I tried booking the appointment because, they had the availability, but once I got to it, it says that my zip code is not eligible for an appointment there. So you are pretty much looking at these 6 locations. Now, Reno and Carson City are going to be pretty far from the Las Vegas metro. That is a 6-hour drive to Reno, about, 4.5, 5-hour drive to Carson City. So if you're living in the Las Vegas metro, you're going to be looking at this Henderson location, the Flamingo one, Decatur, as well as the East Sahara. Now, I'm showing you here the process of making the appointment. As you can tell, the availability is scarce. Okay, you can get some dates out, a month in advance, but to find something the next day, to find something tomorrow, or even the same day, right? It's going to be very difficult. This is showing July again, right? So that was the East Sahara location. I'm going to check the West Flamingo one too. And, I'm looking to get my new license. And again, it's just showing times in July. So I'm going to show you how to get the right appointment that you need. Excuse me. But just for the sake of this video, I think I'd check out the North Decatur location too. Just hoping that there's something before my license expires. But there's no luck. Now, the good news is that people cancel their appointments, okay? And as these appointments get canceled, there is a chance that one is going to pop up. And when one pops up, you're going to want to very quickly book that appointment if it fits your schedule, because it's going to go. You will not have 5 minutes to really think about it. The appointment will be gone. Now, there is the Tuesday night way to get an appointment the next day. I'm going to talk about that more a little bit later in the video. But if you want, you're pretty much just going to be sitting around and clicking on these different boxes, hoping that one time that you refresh the screen, there's going to be an appointment available. Now, once you do so, they are going to send you an email and a text message asking you to confirm that appointment. It is very important that you confirm that appointment, or you will lose the appointment, which I ended up doing. So I will show you that here in just a moment. All right, so I was fortunate to get an appointment. This was that first appointment that I was talking about before. This was going to be at 3:15 at the Flamingo location. And I was browsing the website early in the morning when I found this appointment. It was probably 6 a.m. And I just went right back to bed after doing so. And I did not see that they sent this email saying that they, received a request to book an appointment and they wanted me to confirm it. They also sent a text message that I'll show you later, which I ignored. I did not see it. So then I got an email saying that my appointment was canceled because they did not receive any confirmation. Now, I didn't realize this until probably an hour from my appointment, because as I started the video with, I was like, oh, I have an appointment. I got to fill this form out and get to. And then I just checked my computer real quick to see that I no longer had that appointment. So do not make that mistake. Make sure that you confirm your appointment. All right, so after I lost my initial appointment, I went back to online looking for more appointments, and I found one that opened up at the North Decatur location. Now, again, it is very possible to find the appointments if you just kind of sit there every 20 minutes. You're very diligent. You're checking the website. You are updating it. You can get this done. I think that an opening will present itself to you. But here I am pulling into the North Decatur location. I don't know if they have the VIN inspection on site as the Henderson location does, but just wanted to give you a quick little shot at the North Decatur DMV. Looks like I'm walking into the building right now, but I'm actually just leaving the appointment. I was able to get my new driver's license. Unfortunately, I was not able to get my plates updated. That was my own fault. I did not bring enough cash on me. It was about a $600 charge. So I gotta go back, make the appointment online again. But the good news is that I'll be able to maybe show you guys online the Tuesday night experience. The lady here was saying at 7:30 p.m. they open for this location to make those Wednesday appointments. The Henderson location that I was at before, where I got the VIN inspection done and the initial information, they were saying at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays they open. So it's all good the way that I look at it. Just a little inconvenience is more good content to show you guys. And I'll have some good information about some of the pricing, some of the fees for everything associated with getting your Nevada license. All right, what's up, YouTube? So the time here is 6:15. Now, I was told by the lady at the Henderson location the other day that 6 p.m. would be the time that the website updates. And I've been here for a while, kind of clicking as I was describing earlier today. I was there. Everything was going smoothly until I realized I did not have the full funds to complete the transaction of getting my registration done. So Now the lady did tell me I was at the Decatur location. This is where I was at today. She told me 7:30. You got to go on the website at 7:30 p.m. That's when it updates for your Wednesday appointment. The lady at this Henderson location the other day had told me 6 p.m. The same message. Now maybe I missed something, right? But I'm here. I've been here at 6 o'clock YouTube just testing this out, and I did see a couple of I confirm I'm a human. I did see a couple openings earlier before 6 for Friday. There were some Friday openings that I saw. But I figured, well, hey, let me try the Tuesday night sweepstakes to get in on Wednesday. So I'll be back with an update probably at 7:30. And this might be terrible, YouTube, the fact that I'm just filming the computer screen. But I just figured I'd give it a shot. Just kind of wanted to see how this were to come out if I just tried it for one clip. All right, so I don't know if I'm missing something because the time is now 7:30. So I've been trying since, or it's 7:36. I've been trying since 7:30, going on the different locations as I've been doing, checking them out, clicking on vehicle because I just have to do the registration at this point, and it's still the same. I didn't see anything different happen at 6 o'clock. I didn't see anything different happen at 7:30. So then I was like, wait, the lady gave me a piece of paper, so I ran to the car to go get it. And here's the piece of paper. And let's put the piece of paper down. Piece of paper, I was thinking like, oh, yeah, maybe I just need to follow the QR code, right? I thought maybe the QR code is a different link, a special link for Wednesday, right? It was the same thing. It just brought me to what we've been looking at right here on the computer, just right on the phone. And I'm still not able to secure the appointment. So at this point, the plan is just keep browsing this website. If I find an appointment for any day, I'm taking it. If it's Friday, that's fine. It does not have to be Wednesday. I'm not going to hold out hope for this Wednesday anymore. I don't know if maybe this is a user error. I am doing something wrong. Maybe I got the time zone mixed up. Maybe it's 6 a.m. It does say right in this piece of paper. 7:30 p.m. The lady was saying 7:30 to great employee. 7:30 to 8. And then you're good to go for Wednesday. And on Tuesday, right, scan this, which I just did. So I don't know. All right, so we do have some difference in the website now. Starting at right about 8 o'clock, the website got really slow. You almost lost some of the photos, and now it says that I am in a line. I've backed out of this a couple of times and switched locations, but this is the Decatur location. I did the Henderson one before, and then figured, let me switch it. Even though this one's farther, I don't know necessarily why I did that. Plus, they started at number 2,100 something. I gotta say, I'm not too optimistic about this. I mean, that seems like a lot of people. And let's say there's 50. Let's say there's 50 people working there, and they work an 8-hour day, let's say, and let's say each appointment takes 30 minutes. Whatever, like 16 times 50. I don't know. Plus, I theoretically could be 2 hours late to this. One lady told me 6, so who knows? We'll see what happens.
All right, YouTube. So it turns out the Tuesday night line is real. I ended up waiting about 15 minutes in the virtual line. I cut out about 9 minutes of footage that looked identical to this with just my place in the line. But I wanted to cut it down until I get in just to show you what the website looks like. I mean, it was a sight to see. After almost a week of kind of doing this DMV stuff, to see all these appointments available on the next day, it was pretty remarkable. But here you go. So right here, boom. This is for Wednesday, the next day. All the appointment times available. And I ended up picking the 10:15 appointment. And I will show you in the next video what it looks like after you make that appointment. All right, so if you look at my phone here, this was the initial text message from Monday at 6:41 a.m. that I never confirmed and ended up losing my appointment because you have 30 minutes, don't forget, to confirm by either replying with a 1 to your text message or they're going to send you an email, okay? Either or. So I missed that appointment, had to do it again, had to get the appointment at Decatur. That one, I replied. They said, thanks for confirming. All right, and I was able to keep it. Now, 30 minutes before you get to the appointment, they're going to send you a text. It looks like 31 minutes. I had the 10 o'clock appointment. At 9:29, they're texting saying, press 2 to let us know you arrived. They thank you for checking in. All right, and then, as I mentioned, or I'm about to mention, I was a little bit short on the cash. I didn't bring enough, so I had to go back and make another appointment once again, right? They're going to say, thanks for confirming, same process. Now, this link, you can actually click on it, and I'll show you screenshots. It's going to kind of show you where you're at in line, so that way you're not totally in the dark.
All right, what's up, YouTube? I got a 10:15 a.m. appointment over at the DMV in Decatur, or off of Decatur in North Las Vegas. Believe it or not, it is raining. We got a rainy forecast here. I'm hoping I don't experience any delays more than 6 minutes, or else I'll be late, and I don't want to go back to looking for an appointment online. So I'll let you know when I get there.
All right, so this is a screenshot of that link, right? I didn't realize until the end that I could do this, but right, I had 2 minutes left. I checked again. And then here, so it took a little bit longer than 2 minutes because this screenshot was from 10:53 a.m. and it was 11:01 when it said it was my turn. And I had a 10 o'clock appointment, and another lady said, hey, expect to be about an hour after your appointment. So she was exactly right in that. So just giving you guys kind of a time frame. There's going to be a board up there too. The board's going to kind of have the list of names that are coming up next. But it seems to not be that accurate because my name was not on the board, and all of a sudden I was first on the board. But the phone did kind of tell a good story throughout the, I guess, last 8 minutes that I found out about it. All right, so right here we have the license plate. Got it done. Mission accomplished. I'm covering up the numbers, obviously, here with a great driver, and Bowser Jr. and my favorite wrestler since I was a kid back in like 06, CM Punk. But this right here is the rodeo plate. There's a lot of different plate options you can go with. It's going to be about a $40 fee, maybe, and
I think yearly, and then maybe 25 up front to get the different plate. If you want to support some cause, you have your Las Vegas ones, you have just different charities. The art district, I think, has one. I might show you, actually. I'll show you in the next slide all your different options.
All right, going over your different license plate options. Here we have the base versions up front, followed by these non-passenger / other license plates. The professional firefighter one stands out to me. If that is your occupation, thank you for your service. And there's a cool license plate that you could get. Here are the military-related ones. Shout out to anybody that served in any branch of the military. There's also plates here that recognize those wounded in combat or Pearl Harbor survivors as well. Moving on to the special interest, we have the plates with breast cancer awareness or the Autism Foundation. There's the rodeo one that I selected. The Las Vegas one, to me, the half black, half white was kind of throwing me off, so I decided to pass on that one. Over here, we have a couple different ones that show support for different causes and some organizations and groups down below here. The one that stood out to me was the Teamsters Union. I've heard that name mentioned in Chicago history a couple times. Over here, too, we have the sports-related ones. The UFC ones were my second option. I almost went with those. I love watching UFC once a month. I think it's something fun to go out and do. UNLV, I will be supporting the college this year for football, especially more so than pros. And we end with the wildlife and conservation license plates.
All right, YouTube. So I wanted to share with you all my receipt, all right, from getting my registration done. That way you have an idea of the cost for yourself. So you can see here, my total was $317.75. Now, you will not have to pay that much, because if you look here, I had to pay $35 to get the rodeo plate. Had to pay $25 for I believe that's going to be the yearly fund for the plate. VIN inspection, $1. Late registration fee, $54. Prison industry fee, no idea what that is, $1. Governmental services tax penalty, $13. Registration fee, passenger vehicles, $57.75. Basic government services tax for Clark County, $105. Supplemental government services tax, Clark County, $26. Now, if you subtract the 35 from the rodeo plate minus the other 25 from the rodeo plate, and then you subtract 54, because let's say you're not late and paying a late registration fee, this total for your registration could be $203.75, I believe. Now, the license itself, I think, was about $40. Let me try to find that receipt to get you an accurate cost. All right, and this right here would be the receipt for getting my license done. So I'm covering all the personal information with quarters and coins, but you can see right there it says Nevada license, and paid cash with $50. It was $41.50. I got $8.50 back. So that is the cost to get your license in Nevada.